Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And my friends, I have an amazing guest with us this morning. She is a full-time labor and delivery nurse who has worked to build a business here online using the skill sets that we teach here at Legendary Marketer to build something amazing for herself and her family through unique and relatable content. And we're going to be hearing all about that. So let's jump into it. Please help me welcome to the show, Quincey. How are you this morning, Quincey?
Doing great. I was grateful to wake up with a voice today because I didn't have one all weekend. So I was grateful when I woke up. I'm like, oh, good. I don't sound like a raspy man getting on this call today. At least not as much.
No, you sound great. So this is your second time on the show. You were back on the show third. I'm not trying to take anything away from you, girlfriend. Last time I believe you were on the show was in November of 2024, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so glad to have you back. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Always enjoy having people back to continue to talk about their journey and give people some check-ins, because so often on the internet we start businesses or start things and people are really excited and then you never hear from them again. So take us back to the beginning for you. When was it? Why did you start it? What was the reason why you wanted to get into this in the first place?
Yeah. So my story was a little bit more unique because it was actually my husband that wanted to do this. He's also a nurse, but he's a full-time nurse and an anesthesia student. And because of how rigorous the programs are, they don't let you have a job. Like, that's one of the questions they ask you in the interview is, are you able to financially support yourself well enough that you don't have to have a job? But his first degree is in business. And I was always kind of closed off from that mentality. I had a dad that worked a W-2 job and has always just saved and saved and saved and saved for his retirement. So I just kind of thought that that was the better way. I wasn't familiar with entrepreneurship and business stuff, so it made me more nervous. So we switched paths. But then, I was seeing people in the make money online space, and my husband was too, on our algorithms. And he was the one that actually stepped forward and was like, I think I want to take this challenge. I want to try this. I want to see what I can do. And I was just kind of sitting there in the background, to be honest. I was hearing it and kind of intrigued, but also was like, I don't know. We're already on a path. We don't need that path. But then he got to the end of it and he's like, I actually think that this is something I could do on the side. So I think I want to start it. And he's like, but I don't really know anything about social media. Could you help me? Because I would post my kids and things like that. But I was open to it. I was like, okay, I can help. So I was actually the person behind the camera. He was like the model of it. He would, I would record his content. He would do his little spiels and I would upload the videos. But then as his program started to get more busy and he couldn't be around as much, and then as people were actually getting interested and wanted to talk to him, but he wasn't around to talk, I was like, this is kind of getting more complicated. And as I've been looking into the education to get better at all this, I'm actually kind of interested in this. And I think I could do pretty good at it. So then I started my own account, and then mine, I think largely in part to the skills that I had learned by going through his account and making his better, mine took off much more quickly. And it soon got to the point where I was like, actually, this is my thing. You're off doing your nurse anesthesia stuff, so you can pick it up when you're done on the other side, but I'm going to go and do my own thing. And it's been great, because now while he's busy, I am too. I'm doing this, and it's really fun. It's really great. I love that this really is. So many people, get shocked at how much time I spend, but I really do only give this basically nap time. And I think I could be far better if I gave it more, but it's like, that's the time that I'm willing to offer right now out of my family. And it's great. It's been such an awesome side hustle and blessing that I didn't even see coming, that I personally didn't seek out. And so anyway, that was in November of 22, I believe. Yes. It's been like a year and a half. I opened my account. It was a year last week.
Wow.
And so it's been a year of constant posting every day. I haven't missed a day, been showing up for myself, for my business, and have learned a lot all along the way. Yeah.
Wow, that is an incredible story. Jaron said how cool how that worked out. And it really is. I've heard a lot of people's spouses who sent them something and then they ended up kind of taking over from there, not quite like you did. Why do you think your stuff took off? I mean, if you were to go back to the beginning, what do you think it was about what you were doing that gave you an edge or made things take off? What do you think differentiated yourself
I
from?
think it was like being in the space for 3 months. I had a chance to already gauge what kind of content people were interested in and start watching those that were performing really well within my niche. And so then by the time I started, I already kind of knew what content was going to perform well. And so I think that really helped the social media algorithms right out of the get go be like, oh, okay, that video that she posted, even though she's a brand new account, it did really well with all of these non-followers. So then my account started getting pushed out more and more and more. So I think it was kind of like, it wasn't totally like starting at a 3-month account, but I had like more knowledge and skills than I did on day one of his accounts. I think like one thing that was really big was on his accounts, I would still kind of post random stuff. There would be like some random fatherhood or like a tool tip that he would do in the garage. And then a side hustle job. Like it was just kind of all over the place. And I think that really damaged the account. I always tell people when you start a new account, really hone in on just one little thing, one little problem, so that for a lot of reasons, but one, so that the algorithm can get to understand who you are and who you're trying to talk to. So when I came into my account, there wasn't any randomness. Like I was dialed in on what I was going to do. And I think that significantly improved how the algorithm knew me, my content, and who I had as my target audience.
So how did you become so clear about your target audience, and how would you call them out, both on video, but also train the algorithm to know who you were talking about? Was it about what you were saying in the videos? Was it what you were putting in your caption? I mean, help us to understand a little bit for those who kind of are looking to clarify their niche. What are some of the things you think you did that helped train that algorithm?
Yeah. Well, I first started it all on paper. Like I went through your fishing formula, wrote it down every single step, and got so clear. Like I know you say in that you should think about a person. He's throwing the hat. A specific person that you want to talk to. And for me, it was myself. It was the older version of myself. It was like, okay, the person who needs a mom, like a mom at home, that's usually who I end up helping, that's at home with her kids. Her husband's very busy. He's working really hard. And you want to shoulder some of that without leaving your kids. So that was who I was talking to every single post. And then from there, it's not as hard to then think about what pain points are or what motivational points. That's really what I like to speak to more than pain points. It's like what motivates these people to work. It's a lot of like daycare. People don't want to put their kids in daycare. People can't afford daycare. So it's finding what will motivate people to stop using their screen time as wasted time and pour all that energy instead into a side hustle. Because that's the thing, is my screen time numbers have changed zero being in a business. But instead, I don't spend nap time and bedtime just doom scrolling, wasting my time, and really just feeding other people's wallets. Now I've just taken that exact same time that I would have been on my phone anyway, and I'm channeling it towards making money for myself and my family.
Jeez, okay, you got me fired up this morning because you're talking about actually using what you bought, okay? Using what you bought. It's like there is gold right under your nose. The entire answer is in just creating a plan and then sticking with the plan despite how you feel along the way.
Yes.
How have you managed your feelings and or limiting beliefs through this process?
Well, so that's huge. I loved your confidence challenge and talking more about mindset, because that is going to be the number one thing that holds people back, because our society has been trained to think a certain way. We started playing this game with my 7 or 8-year-old and 5-year-old. It's called Splendor. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. But it's a fun game. It's meant for a little bit older kids. But as I've watched them play, you actually have coins that are your currency that you're purchasing points for and trying to get to 15 points. And as I watch them, they will dial in on just one card, one goal, and they can't even think about anything else. Whereas my husband and I will sit there and you're thinking several points ahead. It's like, okay, and you're considering if someone else were to take what your goal is, what you can do next. Whereas children, and I honestly, how I feel like most of society is trained to think, we're not thinking about 4 steps ahead. We're not thinking about, if plan A doesn't work, what can plan B be? A lot of us are trained to just go into the education system, go get a degree, get that job, and work until you're 65. And I think that's such a disservice to us. Because then here's another example. Just last week, one of my affiliate companies that I affiliate for sent me an email and say, hey, just want to let you know, you have until the end of February to, settle your affairs with us. We're closing our affiliate program. They're a smaller company. But thank goodness I have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. Like, there's all these other opportunities that I'm involved in, because I'm constantly looking for them. It's never going to be just a W-2 job for me ever again. And that's so freeing, because also, how many times do people get laid off? How many times are we throwing curveballs that then would happen and you can't even do your W-2 job anymore and you're just left high and dry? So more than anything, it's diversification, and it's learning how, if your plan A doesn't work, you don't worry. You have plan B, C, and D already lined up to go for you.
And I'll tell you, marketers, listen up, because you can do this right inside of your business. And the way that you do this is not particularly from having multiple streams of income. That is one of the things to focus on, but not at first. Multiple streams of traffic is the thing that is going to set you free within your business. And obviously, first, mastering a platform is really important. Focusing on a platform being your main platform that you're going to focus on, kind of one channel. For example, Instagram, and then reposting or repurposing those same videos on the other platforms, but really making sure that you're nurturing at least one platform really, really well. Sometimes in the beginning, it can be overwhelming to kind of be everywhere. But making sure that you're not spreading yourself so thin that you're putting 10% out on each platform because you'll get 10% back. But eventually evolving those traffic streams into multiple traffic streams. For example, you might think that I'm only talking about social media channels, but I'm not. I'm also talking about an email list. I've seen a lot of people who maybe the algorithm changed, or something happened with a platform, or something happened with their account, but they still had their email list. How have you evolved your multiple streams of traffic within your business? And what does that look like for you? Kind of how have you gone about that? What's been the main platform that you've nurtured or has taken off for you over the last year?
Yeah. So yeah, that's great. I feel like you said that perfectly, because I started on Instagram. That's just where I felt most comfortable. And then I tried to also have a Facebook. And after, I think, 8 months, that Facebook was just doing terribly because I wasn't nurturing it. And I honestly didn't know much about Facebook. So after like 8 months, I think it had like 400 followers, was it? And just very minimal leads and things. So I ended up letting that one die. I let my Instagram grow. And then once I felt that I had my Instagram pretty well under control, I actually went back through the education that I had already purchased on specifically Facebook. Cause now it's like, okay, now I feel like I can handle this. And so while my Instagram's running and it's doing great, I added Instagram back in. And now that one's only been up and running for a couple months, and it has flown away and is bringing in tons of leads. And it's because I brought it in at a correct time, when I had already got established in my one platform that was doing well, and without compromising any of its efforts and what it was doing well, was able to now add in another one and brought in better education that I didn't have the first time. So yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It's like, focus on just one. And once that's doing well and you feel stable, now you can add to it.
So did you add an additional Instagram account or go back and add a Facebook account?
No, I just went and just did a Facebook account after that point. Yeah.
And that Facebook account really ended up taking off, you said?
Yeah, because now I had time, resource, knowledge to actually know, because every platform is a little bit different and requires a little bit different things from you. It's not a one size fits all. So if you can focus on one, get really good at one, then you can absolutely add later to it after you have your footing. And like I said, I went back through and looked at all the Facebook modules again to figure out what I had been missing the first time, to go back through and make that actually be a lot better.
What is one thing that you discovered that's different about Facebook than Instagram, for example?
Yeah, interacting in groups. Like on Instagram, I did a little bit of that in the beginning as far as like going to other accounts within my niche and, commenting and putting it out there. But with Facebook, going out and actually interacting with groups within that niche and commenting back, giving value-based content to them, that really drives the traffic back towards your Facebook.
Yes.
And the other thing that I did is did a profile instead of a page. Standardly, what I've noticed is anytime you're affiliated with a brick and mortar business type model on the internet, you get punished for that. They have different like outlines. So if you can find different ways to sneak around that, use a creator account instead of a business account, that sort of thing, that tends to perform a lot better on
Mm,
social media.
mm. Yeah, for sure. They want you to pay if you're saying that you're a business, right? They want you to pay for advertising to get
Mhm.
your content. Facebook's been sort of notorious for this over the last 5 years. They used to give a lot of reach to their business pages, but then everybody created a business page and then they all of a sudden gave you zero reach because they wanted you to pay for advertising because they
Yeah.
figured, well, you're a business. We're going to give the reach, the organic reach to our profiles, to our regular people who are not businesses, and we're going to make you businesses advertise. So the popularity of personal brands and people creating personal brands versus only coming online with a business slash logo name, either on their Instagram or Facebook or even YouTube or TikTok, has been a major shift, and people have doubled down on that, and it's really been a game changer for everyday ordinary people who would have never gotten reach if you came online as a business, or if you came online and tried to hide behind a logo or a company name. Even if you do have a company like we here at Legendary, being out front, attaching a personal brand or a spokesperson to that company, sort of like Russell Brunson did at ClickFunnels, or um, I mean, Sam Ovens did it consulting, or Onyx and Gall did it learn, or I mean, there's just countless examples of people who are out front. Elon with Tesla, Steve Jobs with Apple. I mean, if you look at some of the biggest companies, they have a personal brand that's attached to the company. I was reading one of your posts and I loved it. It was the I'm whatever your age is, and I'm not ashamed to admit. I really thought that was a powerful post. You said you really got vulnerable. You talked about, um, uh, your challenges as a mother. You
Yeah.
talked about, how do you use? Some people might think, well, okay, how do I train the algorithm on a specific topic? For example, make money online or online business, but still talk about family and weave in my own personal journees as a mom, or
Mhm.
talk about being a mom without confusing the algorithm. How do you do that, and what would your advice be around that, around weaving that in and creating that relatable content without confusing the algorithm?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's huge. I had once heard somebody say that you should aim to get to 10,000 followers before you start to deviate. So I did do that. I'm not sure that that's entirely necessary because at the end of it, I do feel like we're all humans and people can kind of understand that. But I also think if you design your Instagram to be very clear when they click on it, or any social media, when someone clicks on your name, they should know like Dave Sharpe, legendary marketer, CEO, like they immediately know who you are and what you're going to be doing. But then they shouldn't be surprised when they also see a picture or a video of you playing with your kid, because it's like, oh, okay, he's also a person. I think that makes you more relatable. So I think that there is a good balance in at the beginning holding off on some of that really personal stuff and keeping it to your stories only, because those disappear and those don't impact your algorithm as much, and keeping your reels very obvious what you are and who you're trying to help. And then as it evolves, you can add more of that because now you've developed this trust and relationship with your audience. Because usually by the time you get to like around that 10,000 followers, we'll say that number, people have been in your stories. They've been watching your life. They've been seeing me take my son to swim lessons and doing drop off, doing normal things that they do. So it's not a shock when suddenly I post this post that has a lot of very, like details about me that maybe they didn't know. And that is also strategic. Like there's not much that I do on my page that doesn't come with strategy, and posts like that are made to bond with my audience, to build those connections, to just, even if just one of those bullet points stands out to them. I think I listed like 10 different things that people might not know about me. And then if even one of those people are like, oh, I can totally relate to that. Now we have something in common. And you know, when we have things in common, those are the people that we buy from. I had listened to another interview at one point, and someone was talking about how what friends do is they recommend things to each other. And I'm literally in a chat with a bunch of my friends, and at least once a week we have someone send out a message. Hey, what was the life jacket that you guys got for your toddler again? What is the dance class that you're going to put your kid in? And any of these things can be turned into revenue streams. But when you're friends with somebody, they're going to trust your recommendations and go for them. And that's kind of how we have to treat our Instagram stories and our Facebook stories. That's where people are getting to know about us. So I utilize those to give normal recommendations. Hey guys, this dry shampoo is finally the dry shampoo that I have been looking for. I have tried so many different brands, and this is the one that works. Now, is that related to my niche? No, not necessarily, but it is related to my target audience, who is likely a bunch of moms just like me that haven't been able to wash their hair in 3 days because we're taking care of children. So I think there's a very tasteful way that you can include your not on niche items within your page and make it applicable to your target audience. And that's just as helpful, I think, as posting your niche related content.
So in the beginning, what were some of the videos, and even now, I mean, what are you realizing if you were brand new that you would do to grow your account in the first 30 days? Would you do text on screen videos? Would you do, I mean, and let's just take, for example, your niche, the make money online niche, online business and marketing. What type of videos? I mean, again, you're feeling like you don't have any authority. You're probably struggling a lot with imposter syndrome. You feel like you don't have results. You're kind of discounting all your life experience and like we come in here with major imposter syndrome. But like to deal with that and still take action, what are the types of videos that you would post in the beginning if you were to do it all over again? Are they the same that you're posting now?
No, they're not. And I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot of people that I've noticed will copy my content, par for the course. It's fine. But they're a brand new account, and it's just not going to do as well. And it's because they're trying to appeal to an audience that isn't there yet. So if I had to start over brand new in the make money online niche, I am providing nothing but value. Nothing. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not putting a like comment whatever to get my freebie. I'm not doing any of that. That can be linked in there, and if people really want to dive, they can. But it's value based only. And I think that's so hard for people because they want immediate results. They want immediate cash flow. They want to feel like this is working. It is working if you set up your foundation correctly. So I post in the beginning, I would recommend only posting things that are going to help people make money online. And that can also just be your tips as you're going along. If you get a reel that goes viral, share the things that you did differently that helped with that. But it would be side hustles, remote jobs, and ways that people can make money online from home, because that's exactly what you're sharing. And I did see a lot of people that get mixed up in things that are very scammy and stuff. I always stuck to things that were legit, like be an Amazon driver, walk dogs. Did you know that you can go pick up people's groceries for them and get paid? Like there are ways that you can also make money without going to a corporate 9-to-5 and work your own schedule. And those are the type of videos that would bring people in, because now they're interested. They want to know how they can make money in a non-traditional sense. Yes. But I think if I would have posted even that, reel that you were just mentioning, things you don't know about me, people aren't going to care in the beginning. They just don't. They're here to see, what do you have to offer for me?
Yeah.
So when you're in the beginning, you gotta give freely, and do not expect anything in return except a follow. You can always ask for a follow. It's like if you're interested in escaping the 9-to-5 grind, or even just have more flexibility with your family, maybe you'd like to decrease the amount of hours that your kid is in daycare, like maybe look into some of these options. Give me a follow, and I would love to help you along the way, see that we have a supportive network to get through this together. And so then over time, as I've gained more credit with my audience, built more connections, talked with people, had people interacting just because they wanted to, trolls come out and others will jump on them for me. I don't even have to do it anymore. Then you're able to be more flexible. And one thing that I've enjoyed doing just for the heck of it is, yes, my niche is make money online, but I like to execute that myself. So a few times I don't know how often, a few times a month, I'll look into an affiliate program that I like. So I'll give you an example. I went to Target, as many moms do, and there was this shirt that I really liked, and I ended up buying it in like 3 different colors. And I was like, I could make a fun reel for this, and I could just see if I could make some money off of this. So I went online, sat down, applied to become an affiliate for Target, got approved, got my affiliate link, posted my quick reel, and made some money from Target affiliate program. And it's like, you gotta practice what you preach as well. And it's like, was that relevant to my niche? No. But then I also made a video of, hey guys, look, we're gonna sit down today and we're gonna apply for an affiliate program. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to do this from scratch. And so those are fun too. That's not what I would have done maybe in the earlier days, but now as I've developed an audience that is more interested in seeing that kind of content, it's fun. It's fun to do that.
Yeah. And Carrie says she is also proof that if you start this career with a mindset that is not all about the money, but helping people, the money follows.
Yeah.
And I loved your breakdown, as did somebody else who said, hey, this is an awesome breakdown of what value is, right? I think it was Samuel here. Awesome breakdown on offering value. Thank you. We hear that so much, and value can be ambiguous. That's an ambiguous term. So we then go and are ambiguous in our content. We say things, we teach general kind of high level kind of success tips or finance tips, when really what people are looking for is specificity. They're looking for specific, like, they don't know how to make, for example, if you're in the make money online niche, people don't know how to make money. You're always talking to brand new people. That is going to be your biggest audience. It's not going to be people typically who are already successful. They're either just getting started and they're in that contemplation mode, or they've tried and they haven't been successful yet. So taking them and actually, I love what you said, and you can do this so easily by, it's just taking your phone, filming short little clips. You can show somebody how to become an affiliate in 15 seconds. You just don't fit, you film the entire thing, but then you put it in CapCut and you edit it down. So it's like, first you go here, then you scroll to the bottom and click here. On most sites, the affiliate application link is at the bottom of the site. Here's where you apply and register. Then you click here and you'll get an email with it, right? I mean, it's like showing them where to go and like what it looks like on the page. And even the simple fact that something like Target, for example, has an affiliate program, right, is such huge value. What other things come up for you when we talk about giving specific value? What other examples have you maybe done that could be clear for an audience who's confused about this?
Well, so I'll rewind a little bit. I kept my account totally private. I blocked everybody that I knew because I knew it just wasn't going to be helpful to me. And I thought at some point I would unblock everybody, and I still haven't, because I've honestly just enjoyed the being anonymous in my life. But I had a friend find me through a husband's second Instagram account a few months ago. And she told me that one thing that she loved most about my account was that all of the videos were just me doing real life mom things, real life things. It wasn't me just like sitting here, with a whiteboard acting like a teacher and just lecturing people all day. What I take videos of is me playing with my kids, me going on a walk with my kids, me doing the dishes, folding laundry, just realistic things. And although you wouldn't look at that and think that that alone is valuable, but it is showing your target audience that, wow, okay, wait, I can make money online by recording just short clips of myself doing the things I'm already doing, and then just put some text over the screen that is valuable. The other thing I would just touch on is, like, if you don't know how to create valuable content within your niche yet, look into content pillars, because that is critical. Actually figuring out what your page is going to be about, and then you always know what you can come back to talk about. Go through the fishing formula again and really, really dial in the one person you're talking to. Because like you said, I would not have been interested in content that would have been talking about business strategies and all of this stuff, because I was a mom at home that believed that W-2s were the best way to go. But if a mom was just showing me, she's busy showing on different shirts that she's trying on and saying, hey, I actually went to this Target affiliate website and became an affiliate, and now I'm making money off of this post, that would have caught my attention. I would have been like, wait, I was just at Target this morning and I bought shirts too, but you're telling me there's a way I can make money? Tell me more. So it's really about knowing that target audience, and targeting your content specifically towards that. So value-based content, go back through your fishing formula, look at content pillars, decide on like 5 or 6 facts within your niche that are interesting to your audience, and you can talk about those over and over and over again. I love AI. It's doing great things for this industry. And I think a lot of people are scared of it, but you can definitely utilize it in a great way. So I will never run out of content, because now I can just go to ChatGPT and very simply say, I run a social media business where I help people find resources to help them make money online from home. My target audience is moms that are busy. They only have a couple hours a day. I want to give them value-based content showing them, how they can just use their phone a couple hours a day and internet to totally transform their life. I want 18 different post ideas, and you can do that. And it will spit out a bunch of ideas. And now people can tell AI. So of course you tailor them to make it more sound like your voice, but you will never run out of ideas. The other thing I did early on that I think is a fantastic resource is I sat down with your guys' list of 50 hooks. And any single one of those hooks can apply to any niche you have. So I would just sit down, and if it would say, I am today years old when I learned, well, I could fill in that sentence 20 different times within my niche and have 20 different pieces of content. Or just the simple, did you know? Like, get a list of hooks, and AI can help you with that too. If you just say, I need a list of a bunch of different hooks, and then fill in the blanks. And now put that over a video of you doing something you're already doing in your everyday life. And people are nosy. So I've realized the nosier, the better. If you're cleaning your bathroom, people are going to watch that because they're like, I never would be invited to somebody's bathroom. What does their bathroom look like? What's their tile look like? You're grabbing their attention, not just with the words, but with what's going on in your video.
And those 50 free hooks are on day 3 of the challenge. It's a great example of, there being amazing gold that literally is right under our noses. And I think this happens just way too much, where we just breeze by things. We don't watch things. We're not intentional and purposeful when we're learning. And life gets in the way. There's a lot of distractions. You've got multiple windows open. I mean, I have heard you mention multiple things inside of our program, inside of our education here throughout this 35 minutes of having you on, that's coupled in been, it's cause and effect, people. It's cause and effect. It's basic stuff here. I mean, I'm a 9th grade dropout. There's many of you who are a lot smarter than I am about physics here, but energy in, results out. You get out what you put in. So yeah, those are right under your nose. And yeah, AI is crazy. I mean, AI is nuts. The way it also responds well. My tip about AI for everybody is be specific. Be specific. What you just outlined there over the last few minutes of how to talk, like the prompt, that's what a prompt is. When you hear somebody use the word prompt, that they're prompting the chat GPT. It's what you're writing into the little thing, giving it a direction of what you want, right? And this is a great exercise for you evolving into a leader and a CEO of your business, because you are going to need to be super specific with your employees. It is also a great practice for marketers, because the more specific you are, the more clear people are going to be about what they should do next, right? And again, I think one of our biggest issues is not being specific, not being clear, right? We're not specific and clear in our videos. We're not specific and clear with AI. And quite frankly, if many of you look at the kind of patterns in your life, there's a lot of frustration of people of not feeling heard and not feeling understood and feeling like you're not getting your point across. And it's because you're not.
Yeah.
And that's all what marketing is. It's learning to be more specific, learning to be more clear. One of the best pieces of marketing advice I could give you is be clear, not clever.
Yeah. Well, and I think if I would have gone through and tried to do this on my own with no education, I think my message would have been too broad. But what I had heard and learned over and over and over again was repetition builds trust. It doesn't make people bored. People are following you for one specific reason. If you're going to help people learn how to lift heavier weights, they don't care how many tips, the exact same tip that you're giving. They're just going to trust that what you're giving them is a really good tip. And so you're not.
No. Hopefully that's just oh my gosh. Did we lose you? Are you back? Hey, welcome back. Continue.
I was just going to say that's why the 5 content pillars are great too. So it's like you always just can fall back on the same pieces of information that you can share in a different way over and over and over again. And you won't bore people. Like people should know when they click on your account who you are, what you teach, and all of the reels that they can click on should fall within that category so that they know why they're going to follow you. They know what value you're going to bring to their life. It should be abundant.
Summarize content pillars for everybody just so they can have a understanding. That may be the first time they've ever heard that before, that term.
Yeah. Content pillars, you're producing content every single day. And now you need to decide what that is going to be about. So you can decide how many content pillars you have. I have 5. Then it's like if I have to make a piece of content, it's going to be about one of those things. So content pillars is just narrowing down what your niche is in a way that you can fall back on day after day to know that you're staying on track to stay within your niche. I feel like that wasn't a very good summary. Maybe you can say it more eloquently.
No, I mean, it's topics. I mean, it's just topics. It's, what are 5 things that I can talk about on my channel? Maybe you don't even need 5 things. Many of you need just 1 or 2 at the beginning. Yeah. And you'll be fine. Staying on task. I think we get a lot sicker, quicker of hearing ourselves talk about the same thing than our audience does. We stop talking about things because we've heard ourselves talk about it so much, but other people forgot about what you were talking about. They don't remember. They need to hear it over and over again. And as a matter of fact, coming to your page to get a reminder is oftentimes a way to win over a client, right? Instead of thinking that you always need to change subjects or come out with something new or not tell your story because, oh, I've told it so much, everybody must have already heard it. No, they didn't, or yes, they did, and they'd like to hear it again.
Yeah. Well, and also just remembering that that's social media. Like you'll have your followers and only a small percentage of them are going to see every single post that you make. So you know what? They might not have ever heard this from you before, and you should say it again because the ones that see it, have already seen it, are going to know that you mean what you say. You have trust. You're building that trust. And the ones that haven't seen it, now you're providing them with brand new value.
Yeah, the repetition is really big. I mean, you can obviously kind of relate it to the old sales term or phrase that people need 7 to 10 exposures before they finally decide to buy. I mean, people need multiple reminders of who you are and what you're about before they decide that they're going to even oftentimes give you a serious listen, right? It's like a lot of times people scroll past you, even if your stuff is good, until they've seen your stuff a couple of times. Not always the case, but sometimes the case, and definitely usually the case for them to buy from you, right? They need to see you. They need to see you on their social media feed several times. They need to see you in their email because they need to know that you're consistent and you're going to be there and you're not a scammer, meaning that they buy from you or through you one time and then you disappear.
Right. Well, and the amount of times I've had people come and say, hey, I've seen tons of people on social media, but I want to talk to you because you resonate with me or you seem more authentic. Like that is why you show up as your authentic self, because ultimately people aren't going to buy from you if they think that you are scammy. But if they see you in your stories showing up, just going to drop off my kids, playing with my kids today, baking bread today, that was my New Year's resolution and we're still going strong. You know, it's like, then that just shows people that that's the person they want to work with. They want to work with someone who's real and who is going to be there for them and who is like them. We want to work with people that are like us. We want to be friends with the people that we work with.
So tell us something that you've learned about Quincey throughout this journey over the past year.
I didn't, I guess I would just say, I don't believe in W-2 jobs as being the only option anymore. And if you would have told me that 2 years ago, I would have thought you were crazy, because that was the example that I saw my whole life. That's what I thought was comfortable and easy. And in a lot of ways it is. But now Quincey does not believe that anymore. Quincey knows that it has seen so many statistics that people that only work a W-2 will only ever just be bare minimum making it by. It's like the entrepreneurs and the businessmen in the world, those are the ones that actually can make it big and have a life like all of us really dream of. So if you would have told me that 2 years ago, that I would have totally changed my mind and said that entrepreneurship and business ownership was great and that W-2 is maybe not so much and would be starting to take a backseat in your life, I would have thought you were crazy. But things change all the time.
In the business women of the world. Well, Quincey, wow, that's all I can say. Really, really valuable. This was a great example of value, people. I mean, value packed, 44 minutes of just absolute gold. You dumped more platinum boulders on our head than we were prepared for this Monday morning. So thank you. We'll let you get back to your life, your beautiful life that you've created here for yourself through this hard work and dedication. And we look forward to having you back on, and potentially and hopefully even on a mastermind stage in the near future.
Look forward to it. Thanks so much, Dave.
All right, Quincey, we'll talk to you later. All right, thanks for your time.
Bye.
Bye. All right, my friends, you can find Quincey over on Instagram, Where We Matter Most. Where We Matter Most. I sure hope Quincey has an opportunity to go back through and read these comments. The love and the sort of explosion of kind of ahas that are happening here for all of you on this beautiful Monday morning is electrifying and invigorating. So I'm glad that so many of you had such breakthroughs in this 45 minutes that we spent this morning. Meet us back here tomorrow for another episode. Thank you so much to Quincey for like tons of actionable stuff, like tons of actionable value. Also, the quality of the questions depends on the quality of the answers, friends. So get out there, ask your audience powerful questions, right? Be specific, be clear. Go back through this episode, watch it again. I guarantee that you'll pick up something new. Quincey, once again, thank you so much. Everybody go check her out over at Where We Matter Most on Instagram, and get out of here. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you back here for another episode, as always, tomorrow. Be legendary, my friends. Peace.